Good morning, bright and early. It is noon, and it is the StarCraft Remastered launch event day 2. And frankly, yesterday was some of the most fun I've ever had doing any event ever.
Oh, this has been one of the best gaming experiences
of my life.
Ever had.
Yeah. And we're back, and I'd like to note that this shirt has a specific nostalgia to it. This is a shirt that in WCG 2005 at the USA Finals, they had a stage, and there was a guy who was doing little derpy contests up there, like a push-up competition. You know, what country won?
Watching the dog, listen to this story.
Yeah, this is Baristan, right? This is Baristan. Baristan's just a good boy. And In Control's also a good boy. And Dan, he's such a good boy. And that's tasteless.
I'm a bad boy, though.
Oh, my God. Wow. The setup.
Yeah.
So there was a stage at WCG American Finals that I won, by the way. Let me just leave that there for a moment.
Oh, no, the WCG.
Nah, yeah, just the StarCraft one. So Nick really wanted to win a digital camera. So anytime someone was like, hey, we're going to have a competition on stage, Nick would just, and just run to the front, because during the daytime, not a lot of people were there. And all the losers got T-shirts, and the winner would get a digital camera. And you and I went up there like 40 times.
Oh, my God, I don't remember this. Did we ever get the camera?
Yeah, you eventually – okay, the way that Nick got the camera is they asked the question.
This is funny because I probably lost it later that day.
It sounds like
knowing myself, yeah.
Yeah, so the way that the question was a trivia question, and it was asked on the first day of the event. It was, what country is the winner of last year's WCG for StarCraft from? The answer is South Korea, right? Because it was Boxer.
How did he get that? Wow, that's a
that
really hard
good.
question.
Well, Nick didn't get it. He didn't get it. Someone else just answered faster.
Oh, okay, now I do remember that.
And then on like day 3 of the event, Nick literally has so many shirts he cannot even fit his own clothes into his suitcase anymore.
Yeah, I kept winning shirts.
Yeah, it was so funny during the push-up.
He kept losing shirts.
I kept losing, and thus earning shirts.
So they're up there. They're on stage, and it's during the final day, so there's actually like an audience of people there. It's like actually a little packed. And Nick, the guy goes, what country? And Nick goes, South Korea! And literally goes, oh! And has his fingers up like number ones in the air. Just can't believe it. They just hand on the camera. Everyone's completely confused.
This is a story about never giving up.
Yeah. And so this is a 12-year-old shirt.
This
is
a story about a tenacious young man who wanted a camera, and he didn't give up.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, frankly, we're all just in amazing moods today. We're very excited that you get the chance to play StarCraft Remastered, and we're going to talk about it all day, bring up wonderful stories. We're going to have Baristan on the sofa. We're going to get him mic'd up so you can hear his little pant. Yep. And we have some fun matches today.
Yeah. Should we throw the bracket up and see where we are in this tournament?
Yeah.
We vote on that? We all agree?
Yeah,
okay.
Anyone wants to see the bracket?
I just want to
say
sit on
aye.
the couch.
There it is. So the way the groups work is they are mini double elimination tournaments, and the winners move on. So Nyokin just won his first round against In Control, went 2 against Draco, so he is through. And down in lowers, we have Draco and White Raw playing for that final spot. And if they win, or whoever wins
if they win, well, you know who really wins is the fans, day 9. But
Oh, wow.
One of the winner of that match as well.
We all win. We all win.
The winner of that advances.
Except for one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that one of them loses.
And you and I.
Yeah. I mean, I sort of glazed over that. Yeah, see, this is what the bracket looks like. Now, this is the most seriously you will ever take a tournament that is not serious. Is this tournament right here?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It's pretty serious.
These
guys have been going to bed early and like getting up early and coming over and practicing. Like,
yeah,
this means a
My
lot.
favorite
to them.
argument
They're a couple
yesterday-
of tryhards, if you ask me.
Because we decided whether or not we were going to play the decider match yesterday or today, and Draco was like, well, if we can play it tomorrow, then I can. If we have to play it tomorrow, then I can't get destroyed tonight.
Yeah.
We were like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
good argument.
There's the play.
That's
So, yeah,
sober
we're gonna-
Draco then, with the goldfish probably.
There he is.
Yeah,
Draco
we don't
and
have him
White
on camera yet, but yeah,
No.
we're about to have a great
Where's he
European PvP.
He's got
don't
stuff
leave.
to do, man. He's got to go get some pets somewhere else. He's sick of
Bye,
us.
He might drink your coffee.
He's got to run. He's got to run
I'll
behind.
share my coffee with him. That's no problem.
He's got to run behind Draco's computer and unplug the mouse when the fight starts. So that's.
Oh my. But then White Raw's shuttle still goes into the Dragoons and dies.
Yeah, I mean, White Raw had really amazing micro yesterday, but it was literally a shuttle flub in each game that cost him.
Yeah. I don't think he'll do that today.
No shuttles?
No shuttle flubs.
That's how you play around your weaknesses, man. You don't make the units you're bad at controlling.
Yeah.
He was playing better with each game, too, I thought.
Dude,
that is a brutal way to lose, man. Just having the shuttle go in there and die like that. That's one of the moments in Brood War where, yes, the game was decided in a split second. You know?
That's surprisingly rare in Brood War. That it's literally the one moment. Those tend to happen, in those early stages of the game where you just.
It's like they pick off your tank
up.
that's behind the wall. Your Dragoon range is too long. That type of moment.
Oh, because too long.
Too long.
Too long.
I thought it was interesting in the PvP where he just completely failed the first attack. I think it was game 2. But then it actually went on. It was still fairly even. That was a very Brood War type thing for me as opposed to StarCraft 2, where like if you do a timing attack like that in StarCraft 2, and I'm not making a judgment, I'm just saying the difference in games, it's like you're done. There's no coming back from that without some really crazy X factor. But in Brood War, sometimes
it's like most of the time it's still a real game.
Yeah. Yeah, like they were equal in supply. It's just interesting.
Yeah, I mean, in StarCraft 2, units bunch together like very easily and move through tight corridors.
Yeah, it's much cleaner, so
the damage
kind
output is super
collect
fast
on each other.
And
yeah, so I mean, essentially, all of your units in your army are always participating in the fight constantly. But in and so it really, really matters what units you have and how many units you have in StarCraft 2. But in StarCraft 1, those are important. Still the number one factor in StarCraft 1 that determines who wins the fights is whose army is bigger. But space is a lot more drawn out, so it's a lot more about this side of the fight and that side of the fight and how I was managing this side and the fact that those 3 units at the back were not participating.
Yeah, you can have a lot of moments where you could have the same fight and go back and resume from that exact moment and try to have the same fight again and have completely different outcomes.
Well, the old micro tournaments.
Yeah. There was actually micro. What were those called? Micro Wars, the maps?
Micro battles.
Yeah, where you could actually practice specific situations.
That's
actually
cool.
Yeah, those were fun. Those were a lot of fun.
And
they were nice. Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Nick just peered into his bag of like canned responses, and
we'll
he's just
have to see.
None of these are appropriate. I guess I'll just
looking.
Only one player will move on.
That's good.
He's like, normally in a StarCraft broadcast, I'd talk about how like I don't know the outcome of this thing that's going to happen, or how long will this game go. But right now, I can't use those. So you like put it away. He's like,
Oh God,
later.
I have so many phrases that like I just it's like if someone throws a baseball at you, your hand just goes to catch it. It's like a match is about to begin.
Not
I'm
me,
like,
man.
Let's see what's gonna happen, right? Just like it just comes out of me. What a delight that match was. What a treat. Dude, what are your buzz phrases, Dan?
He's going mech. Oh, it's the greatest unit composition in the game. Stuff like that.
I like his wailing voice too.
I always think of myself as the perfect caster that never really repeats himself, so it's hard for me.
Yeah.
Is that a fact?
That's a fact.
No. This is the Dan special. What Dan does is he asks himself a question and then quickly answers it. No. Are you going to defend this with tanks? No, you're not.
Yeah, that's
right.
right.
Too long.
Well, I don't want Tasus to answer because what if he's like,
I'm like,
maybe.
yes, you will.
We'll just
I'm
have to
sorry.
see.
I don't know. You got to tell me you're going to say this before the show starts. I don't know what's going on. Okay.
Don't put me on the spot like that.
But by the way, in this match, I'm really excited to see a PvP on this map because even though this map makes me kind of crazy for other matchups as Protoss, especially against Zerg, of course, a PvP on a map like this is going to be possibly one of the most technical PvPs we'll be seeing for a little while.
It's a possibility.
Yep, in the top we got Nal Draco, and then the left side of that good old map we got White Rod.
Oh, no, they both pre-ordered. It's kind of hard to tell.
There it is.
It's hard to tell.
A little bit.
I can't tell at all. The blinking blue Nexus didn't give it away.
The difference between the two of them. They both look kind of blue.
Oh,
Yeah, you have to look at the
probes,
drink coasters that the Nexus is placed upon.
Oh.
Yeah, the what
Oh,
makes
yeah, you're right.
yeah,
It's got those little things underneath the
No, those
Nexus
are-
that you put under your couch so it doesn't scratch the floor.
Yeah.
Right?
In case you need
What are
more
those
pressure.
called?
You don't want that
Drink coasters.
Nexus.
In my house, they're drink coasters.
I know what it's called.
Yeah, what makes this map really, really cool, since the players are pretty much just, to repeat the matchup, they're going to be going for something that is very Dragoon-focused, supplemented by Reavers, in, a variety of orders, but most of the time it converges to roughly that mid-game. But what's weird about this map is that it has some of the characteristics of something like a fighting spirit. You have a natural expansion with a gas. You have a open center area of the map instead of one that's circular or sort of rubbled. But this map also has a huge outside ring, and our wonderful observer Sham 2 will show us if you go straight north from White Raw's base. You'll see there's this line of minerals here in the back. You can expand here. You have a path from your main to get there, but...
Oh!
Manor Pylon!
Manor Pylon.
Manor Pylon. But, you know, for your opponent to access it, they kind
Manor
of have to
Pylon.
go drop and move around the
Manor
backside.
Pylon.
Manor Pylon.
Manor Pylon?
This, just real quick here, you can make a pylon to block the workers in, and
my
even though this
God.
looks not cost efficient at all, it really does oftentimes pay for itself and more.
Would you ever build cannons behind that, Tasteless?
Yeah.
Yes, I would. I would definitely do that. Wall it off with more pylons.
Sean, I was listening to your story about Outsider, please.
It's just interesting because
So you say
it's-
there's a ring.
There is a ring. There is a one true ring on this map.
Yeah.
It is on the outside, and for some reason, we're going to trust it to two small hobbitses. Still, that was where my suspension of disbelief, just went out the window.
He's attacking the pylon!
So, you know, in other words, this map really does not quite share characteristic behaviors of any other map. You're really close in positions. You have an open middle.
You said it does with Fighting Spirit, though, Brett.
What?
Huh? You said similar to Fighting Spirit.
The middle's similar to Fighting
Yeah.
Spirit, but like the way the entire map plays, it doesn't wind up playing out pretty much like anything else.
Just
'cause
keeping
it's
you in
outside
line,
ring.
Sean. I'm watching you.
God, this is a lot
Someone's
of
got
tension.
us.
You know, I always like to cast with someone who really doesn't remember anything I say.
Plot Brothers. I like it. That's you, Nick.
That's me, man. I gotta say on this map, by the way, it's actually pretty tricky to get an expansion up. You can be punished in so many different ways, no matter where you go.
Dude, I thought you were about to explain the ring for a second. I was like, this is playing out so perfectly.
That would be funny.
I didn't hear a thing Sean
No.
said. But anyways, the ring around this map.
Just explains the Manor Pylon again. I'm
Yeah.
like, wow.
So Manor Pylon's gone, but it was cost efficient.
Yeah, it may look weird to
Yeah.
you, but actually,
Does anybody else notice that update last night broke Nick, actually, as
Yeah.
well? Like,
Yeah,
I can't get him to work
Nick's been
anymore.
malfunctioning all morning. Yeah, what makes, you know, I want to just stress what Nick was saying, that everything's so punishable. You expand to this expansion that's at your front, and if you look at it, it actually doesn't have a lot of minerals at it. It only has, I think, 7 patches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Typically, it's 8 in main, 8 at expansion, or 9 in main, 8 at expansion. So there's not that many minerals there, but, you know, all right, cool. But it's super close to your opponent, so you can easily die, and you don't have a ramp choke at your expansion, so it's super easy for your opponent to get a good concave. You try to expand to the back, they drop. There's like 3 huge entrances to your base, 2 from the back and 1 in the entrance. So,
By the way, they actually went for pretty conservative openers here to start things out. Just a few zealots at the ramp, and then we have the 2 dragoons on each side. So these guys both erring on the side of caution. Oh, and look at that. We actually saw White Raw run away with those some of those dragoons. I don't know if he was trying to hide that to make it look like maybe he was going to do some kind of a DT rush or
Just going after
something
the
like that. Oh, yeah, no, he is going to get that probe. The sooner you get rid of the probe, always the better in PvP, because anything you can hide is going to give you potentially just a huge lead. You can throw them off.
yeah.
dude, Zealots are so interesting in this matchup because they, in mid numbers, are awful unless they have speed. But in really small numbers, they're super important against enemy Dragoons because they take half damage from Dragoons, and a Zealot beats a Dragoon in a one-on-one. So, like...
What do you guys think about White Raw taking the base up there? Up at the top? Doesn't that seem
taking
like
the mineral base?
the mineral base? But you know, in that location, that seems like it's going to be really punishable.
Yeah.
By Draco, like that could be. I mean, I
Yeah.
actually just like what Draco's doing a lot more by taking this natural down here.
Well, if he's taking a mineral-only base and it's towards Draco, doesn't this kind of point us towards he might want to get aggressive?
that's the only thing that makes it safe. But
Yeah.
I don't know if White Raw's set up to be aggressive. I mean, I don't think he's done any sort of robo stuff. I mean, White Raw's playing very carefully. He's actually built up to 4 Zealots, which is kind of a lot. But, you know, Draco's just going to have to eventually retreat here.
Kind of a bit of mismicro there, but I'm
Yeah,
glad that we're not.
Range is not done yet for White Raw. See the Cybernetics core at the left
yeah.
side of the screen still spinning? Range is like the most important early upgrade in these exchanges. You just get shitloads of free hits.
Yeah. And one thing that Draco can actually do here is just keep all those Dragoons at the bottom of the ramp for a little while. It makes it really tough to ever move out from that position, as long as he doesn't overstay his welcome.
robotics facility's done now for Draco and White Raw, and Draco's just doing slightly better ordering of his decisions. He's getting the expansion and then the Robo and then the Observer. White Raw we see getting the Robo and then the Observer, and he does, yeah, there it is. He needs to justify that early of a Robo bay, so he's going to be he has to justify that early of a Robo facility, so he's getting a Robo bay for Reavers.
Now let's remember that White Raw, I mean, the shuttle was his Achilles heel in the last PvPs we saw. He kept flying that in there. I'm hoping he can do better this time around, but losing the shuttle with the Reaver in it in a PvP is usually almost an immediate loss.
I think it will. Like, the fact that happened and even made one of those games close after.
Yeah.
Like, he's having that extra day to kind of sleep and come back. Of course, these guys have a little bit of jet lag and stuff. I think he's going to do much better.
Yeah. He did.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
He did. That's the White Raw way, man.
You know,
actually, White Raw didn't come out last night.
Yeah, he drank in his apartment.
Drink alone in the hotel room?
Yeah.
He's fine.
oh my God, I love after events just going home. Just like getting on my phone and like surfing the internet, man.
Yeah.
Partying.
Like,
That's what I do in Korea after GSL, man. I just go home.
It's great.
It's like, hey, do you want to hang out some? No.
No.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what happens. I'm like, you want to like get a beer or something? Dan's like, no, not really. I gotta go. There's computers at my house. I'll leave you here. Goodbye.
Dude, my man after my own heart.
Yep.
Now, is that 84 supply for Nal Draco or 74 supply?
It's 84.
Damn.
84.
Damn.
10 higher.
It's 110. What are you talking about? No. Shuttle's going to come out here. Okay, now this is going to be one of the big moments. Is how.
There's only Zealots here, so how does the shuttle die?
You might. Are there any dragoons? There are no dragoons in the main, right?
Oh, there's one.
There's one.
So it'll take a few shots, but it will kill it.
This is a good angle. This is a really good angle from White Raw. There's the shuttle.
Oh, this is really good. Oh my God.
8 kills.
Oh my God, and he's actually going to be able to get these Zealots too.
Wait, there's dragoons.
Run! Go!
Oh my God, he gets out.
Oh, wait, he's coming in to intercept. He's coming in from the bottom.
It's already
He's
gonna
chewing on the goldfish.
Yep. There's that. That's the Draco phase.
Goldfish are so delicious. Once I feast upon White Raw's shuttle, I shall have
Okay, he got away. He did it. Good job.
It's going to die later. It has to.
Well, I mean, the White Raw, is as much as we were joking about the snipes on his shuttles earlier, outside of those snipes, the shuttle Reaver control was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
I thought it was kind of crazy. You stayed and started shooting the Zealots. Like, you know those dragoons are coming, but I mean, if he gets away, it's fine.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's really smart for this particular timing, because in the mid-game, there's a Zealot flood. It's when you stop making Dragoons, because Dragoons are good in middle numbers, but they suck in big numbers. Zealots
He had to
are
have gotten
way better
speed,
at breaking
right?
in.
He has speed.
He should be getting it. Sometimes you'll see people actually getting Storm, but if we don't have the Temple Archives, then yeah, I mean, we have to assume 100%. You got to be careful when you get a ton of Zealots, just because if a couple Scarabs connect perfectly with the Zealots, they're completely eliminated and don't factor into the battle in your favor at all.
Yeah, but if you can get good surface area on the Dragoons, then you are in amazing shape. So Draco's going to be trying to deal damage to the Zealots, as Nick said, and White Raw's going to be trying to get pickoffs on those Reavers. Here's the big engagement. Zealot speed is done for White Raw, and there's the drop, and White Raw's got to be looking for the
Okay,
Reavers.
he's pretty well placed here by. Okay, he actually loses that shuttle. In fact, Draco.
There's no Reavers
really
in it
good,
this time.
Really good positioning here. And,
Oof. Just terrible.
Yeah, White Raw. He's just not as good, it seems like, as Draco at the actual engages. This is kind of one of the brutal things about this matchup is you just have to get so good at controlling Dragoons and the shuttle and the Reaver. And we're seeing this happen a lot between Draco and White Raw in this rematch here, is that every time, no matter how good the strategy is or the harass is, when it comes to the actual big fight, Draco's got way better control, and he's always in a better position.
One thing I just want to note about Scarabs, we love to joke that Scarabs are the dumbest units ever, but the way that they glitch is actually very predictable. So you just have to be very intelligent with your Reaver.
This may buy him time. If he can get a few more Dragoons out.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Reavers have to slow walk down here now. We'll see if he can actually take it. He basically wants to try to fight the Dragoons while most of his Dragoons stay out of range of the Reaver.
Oof. Yeah, I don't know if he's holding this.
Good luck with that, man. Those slugs are coming in.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty hard. You know, I got to say, I don't know if I agree with White Raw moving out to try to do that push earlier when he was expanding here. He was already taking a base ahead of his opponent. This just doesn't seem to be necessary at this point in time. He might try to wait and see if the Reaver shots start hitting the Nexus and it slowed down the Scarab production and try to hit then.
Oh, Zone Reaver!
Oh.
What? What did that even shoot?
I don't even know.
Was it the Nexus?
Okay,
Oh,
now
that's a
ideally
good shot.
he wants his Reaver to hit the other Reavers. Okay, he actually takes one out. He's going to try to dive on this one. He should be able to kill it off, but I don't know if he's going to end up losing too many.
What cost?
Okay, got it, but I think Draco could just run up the ramp.
That's not going to do much from there.
Oh, I think no cancel on that Nexus as well.
And Draco played this very smoothly.
3 versus 9 Dragoons, by the way. Favors the 9.
God, that's good for branding.
Wow, yeah.
So anytime someone says 9.
Yeah,
It
but
literally-
there's day 3 out there, and he's like,
Are you
no!
really happy that the Cloud 9 exists? Like, oh wow, they're just
Good game
GG.
from White Raw typing out.
All right, so far history repeats itself here. White Raw taken out by Draco.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, Draco just played that very, very well. I feel like there were like 4 or 5 significant moments where Draco got a good edge, a good edge, a good edge, like getting his expansion up a little earlier,
Yeah.
denying the inner expansion from White Raw, so White Raw was forced to take the outer expansion.
Well, I think that this was his plan anyways, because you got the quicker Robo. He can hold the top of the ramp with slower goon range, and then he has that Reaver drop, which did well, but did he wait long enough for that economic damage to kick in? I don't think he really did.
It's really interesting, too, seeing the... I mean, I remember Reaver drops being so much, like, more devastating in PvP, but it feels like at least today, and I know, take that for what it is, but it feels like they show up, a few Dragoons are like, oh no, and then they kind of push it off. It just has to go away. Because I guess if it stays, it dies, right?
Yeah, it should die. The thing is even when you get all those probes, sure, you have an advantage technically, but it takes a while for that to actually kick in.
That's like such a good point.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if your workers are mining it, like I said that. Yeah, I mean, I think it was.
But I said
I
it
think
better.
they're not listening to me.
Dan.
But I said it better.
You said it
was
better.
Dan, but
I said
don't
it with
know,
authority.
I want to
Okay.
give credit to Nick. I mean, I know
Yeah.
you said it
Yeah.
first, but nice point, Nick.
Let Nick
know.
shine. Let Nick shine this time.
I see we brought the GSL right here.
We've done it right here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the degree to which it
I
matters
said that.
is huge too. Because
God.
I mean, if
I'm
you
pretty sure
lose
this is
10
what
probes-
happened, guys. And Nick waits a minute and it's like, guys, this is what happened. Sean's like, wow.
This is how we do it, man.
The Plot Brothers. Woo!
Every time I watch the GSL, I'm amazed exclusively by my brother. That is it. I'm just Nick is incredible.
Yeah.
You are like the mage that blesses my sword before the battle.
There's a number of ways to read that one, isn't there? Jeez. Again with the Lannister jokes from you two.
Oh God. But yeah, like
We get it, you bones. Like, come on.
I want to talk about probes dying, damn it. Let me talk about probes dying. It takes a little while for that to kick in. And
That's a
specifically,
great point, Day9. Thank you for bringing that up.
Dan, can you give me a minute?
Where are we
Can
going
I
beyond
need a
this?
minute.
By the way, actually, I don't think that he should have pushed. White Raw should not have pushed back there. I don't think that was. Yeah, he already took the damage from the shuttle.
Sean hates you right now.
Yeah?
He's
Yeah.
really trying to talk about your point
Yeah.
that you took from Dan.
Yeah.
Let me build on you.
Go ahead.
Here it comes. It takes a while if you lose the probes for it to actually matter. It actually is like 3 or 4 minutes. It's like 2 production cycles worth of units before you actually begin to feel it. And even then, it's like minor. I don't even want to talk about it
I know.
anymore.
I loved watching it. Sean's like, I really want to talk about this. And Nick's like, by the way, that attack where he pushed out and lost his army was a bad decision.
Maybe you shouldn't have done that.
There you go. All right.
Thank you, Nick.
Hope you guys at home are taking notes.
There's a lot of John Madden fans out there who are like, you know what? I really like that tasteless guy.
Well, if the football needs to go down the field to score a touchdown.
And Nick's like, I'm going to write that down. That's a really, in StarCraft.
Nick
you
literally says
kill-
the same thing. In StarCraft, Terran is going
Yeah.
to try to take his football.
If you lose all your units, you're going to lose the game.
Yeah,
Okay, we got cross spawns here, by the way.
cross spawns on Fighting Spirit. This is... I think that the point about the losing the probes and understanding the economic impact of that is really important in cross spawns because
Oh, wow.
when you have cross spawns on Fighting Spirit, in the middle of the map, if we take a look at that, there's this expansion here, but it's rarely taken. There's actually these huge ridges on the left and right side, and this creates a big circle, so you don't ever really have a guarantee that you are protected from a counterattack. You have to sort of push against the army and very carefully manage that. So rarely do you have a lot of the big, straight two armies run into each other, fights where both people feel obligated to fight. This map just tends to allow you to extend longer and longer and longer and longer.
By the way, there is one thing it's kind of cool and it's very unique specifically to this map, but in crossbots and PvP, you have to be really careful about DTs if you send your observer. A lot of times when you send an observer across the map, you'll intercept the DT and you can send it back, but you don't know which way the DT might go around,
right.
So a lot of times you can actually completely miss it. I don't know if it's going to be a factor here, but knowing if you're going to make one observer or two observers when you're already trying to get shuttles and reavers out is pretty important.
And kind of building off of Nick's point, too, it sometimes happens as well that you scout the wrong base in cross spawns. You know what I mean?
This is true.
What?
Yeah, I actually
You
really
guys
don't get
sat
that
there
one.
politely while he made the point that because of the middle of the map, sometimes DTs and observers don't see each other.
Well, yeah, they don't cross paths. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Oh
Listen,
my God.
You don't know the pain of playing
And that's
Protoss,
dangerous,
losing
both,
to a
both
DT.
in PvP and Ghostbusters, so
Yeah.
that's like a really
Who is our
important point.
audience? Is it like, thanks for tuning in, third graders of Hawkwood Elementary and like what? Like,
Now, guys, if you look at the two bases, sometimes the observer in a straight line doesn't go where the Dark Templar are walking.
No, you know,
it's like ideally no, because the Dark Templar shouldn't just be like, I made a Dark Templar, throw it across the map. Like,
I'm gonna clarify who the audience is. The audience right now is the person who's gonna sit down. They're gonna start feeling like they have the gist of PvP. They're going to build their observer. They're going to build one as they're teching to Reaver, and they're going to miss the Dark Templar that they were deliberately scouting for. It's going to hurt them.
and they're gonna go
Chase them!
You know,
No, they're going to stop and they're going to go, it's okay because Nick brought this up,
Yeah.
and that is an important factoid.
oh. I think the relevant information is if you're going to make one observer and then a Reaver and you're worried about DTs, probably don't send it across the map.
Make two.
I think that's a little bit more relevant than being like, geez, I hope it catches it mid-map so I can turn it around and only lose 10 probes by the time it gets home.
Well, on some maps you actually can and you should send the observer out to poach forward in order to pick off the Dark Templar because it's way better to be able to pick it off
By the
instead
way-
of just defending against it.
And that's the
Draco
audience
really
you're
likes his
targeting.
3-gate style. He's doing this again. This is it's kind of interesting, just considering they've already did this like one time before. You're kind of supposed to throw him off guard a little bit because you have the Zealot back there, and then all three come out. But
Yeah.
when I was talking to Draco last night about this, he actually says he sends all three out at once because they can all one hit a probe. 3 hits kill a probe, which is kind of interesting because the other way to do it is 2 probe hits, 2 Zealot hits. But I guess the way he's viewing this is that start the attack later and be guaranteed more kills.
The double
Mike.
banner pylon.
But it's not the pylons you got to worry about.
And see, Draco is doing this because the Zealots for White Rock cannot both block the pylon and kill the pylon and the ramp at the same time. So this allows the Zealots to get up, and this is a nice
All right, here we go.
tactic from Draco.
Is he going to get any probes? He's got to get something here, man.
I'm just enjoying listening to you guys.
Yeah,
This
man.
is great.
Is he going to kill anything? Only time will tell.
Oh, it's good control.
I got some
Yeah,
stuff in my
this-
bag here. Let me check it out. This is heating up. Pull out another one. Man, if he doesn't kill anything, this will be bad. I'm going to put that one back in there for later. I can use that whenever I want.
That actually was not the best for Draco. I think he only got a single probe.
Yeah, that was actually pretty bad, to be honest. I thought he was going to be guaranteed a couple kills, but this should mean that actually White Rock can kind of like move out and pretty much control the map for a little bit.
I think it's like counterintuitive, but you got to expand pretty early right now if you're White Raw. Your opponent built these 3 Zealots, so you know that essentially whatever threat that Draco would choose to do, whether it's Dark Templar or Reaver or 3-gate or expand himself, any of those is delayed. So taking an expansion and then going back to a conservative play as White Raw is often very safe.
Yeah. By the way, that middle of the map, Day 9, definitely got to agree, looks exactly like Outsider.
Oh my
You can tweet that at him and say, quote, by the way.
Do you seriously not get my comparison of the center of the map of Outsider to the center of the map of Fighting Spirit?
No, they both have minerals and double geyser. Like, yeah, it's...
Oh my god!
Day9 is getting so salty.
You're
right
getting
now.
it daily by the time I'm home.
Yeah, that's right. No, and I'm going to
Fighting
double.
Spirit to Outsider, Day 9 Daily, number 499.99. Here we go.
Let's talk about that right now. Whenever someone looks at a new map, you want to sort of compare it to the existing maps that are there and try to make analyses of like, how it might be similar.
How is this map not Lost Temple is what I want to ask. You know what I mean?
God, remember when we actually had to play on Lost Temple for the
God.
Hey,
first
you gonna
map?
hate on Lost Temple?
Yeah, especially the old version where the
Dude.
minerals were all over the place. Some of those spawns.
Nick, some of us grew up on that map.
There
man.
was me too, man. Remember there was a spawn where the CC actually didn't start right next to the minerals
You
where they
grew up
needed
on
to.
lift it
Dire
off,
Straits, you
move it.
cheesy bastard.
Yeah. Oh, that was a fun map.
Dire Straits
That was
was
a
pretty
fun
fun.
map.
It was fun.
What map?
Dire Straits.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was
Especially
fun
back
map.
when we really didn't know what we were doing, by the way.
I was one of the. As a Zerg, I actually won some games on that map, which felt pretty powerful.
Oh my God, Draco's crazy. Look at this.
This is what
Damn.
happens. when
This
you
is
get
he
that
just
Dragoon range.
yeah he
Control
just barrels in here. I think White Raw is actually dead.
Yeah, this is not looking good.
Yeah, look at people trying to control Dragoons here. I love when they're about to shoot and they're like, it's like they choked on the shot.
That was a nice pullback by White Raw, but
This is looking kind of bad.
That
right?
is.
Right?
I
It's
mean,
very
thi-
surprising that it was 3 goons against like 6, and then like
Forgot about
he's
the
holding.
probes.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that Draco was able to pull this off.
Yeah, that initial bust was actually pretty sick. But now that he's got the probes to pull, I guess he's got a little while before the other Dragoons can get across the map. But
Just
if he
needs
can,
a couple Immortals, though, right?
yeah, he needs Immortals, dude. What he needs is a sentry to stasis that ramp, man. Imagine that.
There's nothing blocking Oracles running in. I don't know why these guys don't go Stargate.
Man, there's some
Wow.
people really pissed off at that line of joking right there.
You know, I'm really impressed at Draco's decision making here. I mean, this is like stay low econ, or not low econ, low tech. Just build a lot of Dragoons and just keep pressuring. And it gives you options like this. Like, yeah, you can take your own expansion behind it. More importantly, if your opponent tries to get a little cheeky and tech and expand too quickly without being conservative enough, you just kill them.
Yeah, he's in really quite good form. I actually was talking to him today, and he was saying that he practiced exclusively PvP and PvZ for this event.
nice. Bold move, Cotton.
Yeah, so he
gonna
said he
suck
played
me.
like 100 games, so that's pretty reasonable. Seven times more for Ret.
Really?
But, you know.
Wait. There's a battle happening here, but go back to Nal Draco's base. Does he even have a robotics facility? Is he just going pure gateway? Oh, that's a super late robotics facility.
That's how he was able to do the bust, I think, initially, is he didn't get any robo. And the problem is when you get the robo, it takes a little while before it actually kicks in, especially for the Reaver.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of make a point here, though. You can really see the 100 games that I heard. I was talking to Nal Draco.
Oh my.
The plot's like, I don't get it.
Do you get it?
I have no idea what's going on.
That's
Dan.
hard,
I have
hard
no
for me
idea.
to tell, Tasteless.
You want to explain it to him?
I'm loving this tug of war between the in-control troll and the Day 9 daily that's happening before my eyes.
Yeah. No, I'm just like I really need to get this strategy out of me.
I'm loving the defaulting of the different styles of casting and just watching this unfold.
Oh gosh, yeah, no. Like when there's something interesting to me strategically, it's like an exorcism. I just need to get it out. I need to just like rip the fucking comment out.
Well, you know what? I'll get you a pad of paper. Next time you just write it down and then crumple it up and throw it in the trash.
That's good.
I can't believe White Raw
That did feel
managed to
good,
hold that.
Dan. Thank you.
I can't believe White Raw actually held that off. That was actually pretty damn good. Because if he lost that Nexus, this game's basically over. In PvP, like, if you get on 2 bases, it's like you're basically stuck for a little bit. You're probably not going to be attacking into each other for a while.
Yeah.
Well,
So this game's going
if
to
you
probably
count the
normalize.
next time between the two players, there's one shorter than the other one. That's very good. Now, Simmons.
I love this move from White Raw to build this spotting pylon below. This is the sort of thing where you're acknowledging that you're going to be spread a little thin. Like there's a lot of really big power units that White Raw has. He'll see everything twice.
If you come through here, our pylons will spot you. You fly by and they're like, I see.
Wow.
What do you guys think of the gateway count for White Raw? And why is it not as good as Draco?
Well, that's a Templar Archives. I think this is very reasonable for White Raw. Yeah,
Yeah.
White Raw is just focusing heavily on his economy and his teching. And Draco's supply is way far ahead, but I think White Raw will be okay only if he defends. And I think this is a smart move for White Raw to just say, well, I can't really go toe-to-toe if I'm building gateway units, so I'm just going to play real defensively and try to get huge defense and go for some later play. So like Dark Templars to mess around, a third base, upgrades. I don't even think Draco has his upgrade started. this is where we look and he has like 2 forges, and I'm like, whoops.
He just always has more than you think.
Yeah.
You know what, though, to your point, that's actually, I've been enjoying that about Brood War. You don't actually know. You can't see it in the top right-hand side.
Yeah.
You can't
Actually,
see upgrades.
This is a really interesting thing about RTS is that not knowing is part of the factor that makes it really exciting.
Yeah.
Is that, I mean,
There's suspense there.
if we had like all the information, even like, if you were watching an MMA match, right? If we knew how, like the guy keeps getting kicked in the leg, if we knew actually how much his leg was hurting or how close the bone was to breaking, instead we just see, okay, he got hit there a bunch. This maybe, he might end up unable to stand in a little bit here. Same thing with
like
this.
how close. The leg's at 80% structural integrity loss.
We got a skeleton up on screen. We see the bones getting redder and stuff. His armor's breaking down.
I agree with you, but that actually sounds really cool for MMA. I would love that.
Yeah.
He's like, wow, he got concussed, and it's like shows the concussion.
Shows the brain.
It's on the production tab, a concussion. Like.
Yeah, he's having a tough time dealing with reality right now, actually.
It's something that's cool about.
Are these pylons blocking the Nexus? Is he going to be able to build one?
Oh, God, remember that? I will never forget the moment. And you guys, I know, these headsets are loud enough when you guys are casting that I'm literally screaming at the couch. I'm like, it doesn't block it. And the 2 Protoss players are like, no, it's fine. And then the Terran and the Zerg are like, no, he can't get the Nexus up there.
Look at that.
I
Fairly certain.
something I think is cool about the sort of supply differential that we see here is that sometimes this just means that Draco's crushing. But most of the time, if one player has a lead in supply, that means he is lower on tech, has worse power units, but he has more stuff and a faster army. So this is where you'll see, like, the Protoss player has a lot of Dragoons and Zealots, and the Terran has a lot of tanks and Vultures. And tanks and Vultures are way more efficient, way slower. But it's still an even fight. And it looks, I would say, slightly favored to Naldraco right now. Not hugely favored, but slightly.
What do you guys think about it? Can we get a shot of the bottom?
Get the pathing!
Can we get a shot of the bottom base? What do
The
you guys think
Dark
about
Temple
the pylons, the 3 pylons there? You guys like that?
Yeah.
You think that's a good?
Yeah. I mean, otherwise you're going to have, like, Zealots, just Speed Zealots run up there later and harass you.
Well, Speed Zealots can run through those pylons, though.
Are you sure? That's not
We're
a trouble?
about to find out.
We're about to
Are
find
you
out.
serious?
Right.
Are you actually serious? Yeah, Zealots could totally run through there. DTs can run through there.
okay.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, so.
He just scoots right through like a...
All right, we've just exposed Artosis, guys.
Wow.
This is truly a
Wow.
rewarding experience.
That Dark Templar slipped in there like he was flat as a bookmark.
That's what people would say.
Well,
They
when
would
you're
say that.
invisible, you can walk through walls too, right? Like, that's how it goes.
I like the...
It's like the Blade Master
the
in Warcraft
burgeoning
3.
stereotype that Terrans and Zergs don't understand spacing in
nice.
StarCraft. I'm liking that.
By the way, I actually wonder if it would have been better if once he got in there not to hit the first probe and instead put the DT in there and wait for the probes to get transferred.
I agree. White Red does suck.
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is great, though. He's doing a nice little distraction, and it's hard to see over this
It's a storm drop.
ledge, so.
Oh, no, here we
Is it a storm drop?
It's a storm drop.
Oh, he's just waltzing right in. It's going to be.
He needs some motivation.
It's gonna be me. That's good.
Yeah, nice.
Oh.
Is he going to get more?
Oh, wow. How many kills is that? 12 and 3?
I was watching Buy Hero stream last night,
Yeah.
and he was playing just like a best of 500 or whatever with some Korean Protoss. All game storm drops. And I forgot how if a storm touches you, you're dead. If you're a drone,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
dead. There's no
Yeah,
pulling it
workers die
really.
so
They
fast.
actually deal damage in this game, Side
Yeah,
Storms.
insane damage. And he would lose the shuttle. He would lose the 2 or 3 Templar. Do it again. Just all game
Yeah.
forever. Because sometimes you
Gosh,
show up and the army
Ross.
shows up and you're like, yeah, I'll storm that too. It's fine. It's so sick. And Scourge, by the way, you don't know frustration until you tell Scourge to go after a shuttle. And
Oh,
they go
God,
up and
it's
they're like,
so hard.
Just kidding! And they pull back and they're like, now let's do it! You're like, no!
How is it? I remember it was at a tournament a long time ago. Theogens or Theogonus, or however you say his ID.
Yeah, I remember him.
How do you?
Echo of Terran.
He was doing something with the dropship to actually offset.
yeah, he was
How
glitching
do you
it.
do that? How do you get
Yeah,
the Scourge to then reset?
Don't say that on the broadcast.
yeah, no,
please. Let's talk
I
later.
can I can show it after the
You
game.
could have ruined the ladder experience for
You
control.
will.
They're all stopping my Scourge.
Science vessels, you're like, oh my god, there's 3 of them just sitting there, and then your Scourge go, and they're like, whoa! And they pull back, and they just start
The
scooting
Scourge,
away.
when they move, they look like they got startled by the air unit they were supposed to.
Oh my God!
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. You're the guy I was looking for.
They're second-guessing their mortality. They're like, if I hit that, I die. I don't want to hit that now. You're like, do it! All right.
Basically, you
Overmind.
click perpendicular to the Scourge, and then you click it about 120 degrees from the first click.
121 degrees.
What-
0.3
Well,
repeating.
Let's call it 123.
You basically buckle. You sort of go up and then down a little bit. And,
Oh, okay.
And what it does, it tries to spline, or not spline, but like, actually spline towards
say
the,
spline.
the new position, but
What
now
does
you're going the opposite
spline
direction.
mean?
Suppline?
Spline.
What's the suppline?
Spline is when
Look at
you
the zip line.
it's when you like slowly adjust towards from one point to the other.
Dan,
do you guys
don't
know-
ever stop finding yourself very funny. I love that.
Yeah.
This is the best part of the stream is Artosis' laugh, man. It's coming out.
The best, though,
Well.
is there's 4 people on the broadcast. He says something, laughs his ass off. Nobody else says anything. And then Dan's like, anyways, so spline, what that means? Like,
Okay, so what we're seeing actually from Draco, this is what you always want to do in a PvP once you get the leg up, is you occupy the area outside of their base because it's just too hard to get everything filtered out. But he didn't completely cover it, so White Rock can just send these zealots out here and probably wipe out a base or kind of do whatever he wants. But this is going to force Draco's army to pull back, and then White Rock can try to move out on the map because he has to get somewhere in the middle of the map.
This is
he gonna go to
really
the main?
interesting.
He found
Yeah, he's going straight in. He's going to be a 3 High Templar. Oh no, he's going for the 3rd. This is like the longest journey, but
He knew the pylons are in the way, so he went around.
Yeah, he had to the zealots couldn't fit through.
That's a big win to be able to get that. Now White Raw needs to be able to
oh, the pro.
man.
not actually focus, but this is a really cute split from White Raw. White Raw, no, get those going. He's actually going to be able to retreat with those other 5 zealots. This was hugely effective. This was just a nice little mobility play from White Raw.
You see how Draco's pulled everything back now? It's not like Draco's at a big disadvantage now, but he's lost the positional control on the map. Ideally, Draco would have wanted to sit out there like for as long as humanly possible and wait for that army to try to come out, and he would probably trade effectively because in PvP with the way Templars move, because honestly, Templars are just such a frustrating unit to try to push out into a fight with.
Yeah.
They're always staggering back. You pretty much never want to try to attack in another player's army if you're roughly the same.
Right. The other big thing here, too, is White Raw was way behind in supply. He bought enough time. Now they're maxed.
And I think White Raw has a higher gas cost army,
Yeah.
and Draco has a higher mineral cost army. So I believe that White Raw has the vastly stronger army right now,
But
in theory.
White Raw
but
sucks at engaging, so...
Well, if he's sitting defensively, his Reavers and Storms are going to kill.
Oh, those storms from Draco are really nice.
Oh, man.
My God, those are great storms.
Okay, I think he's actually got such a good trade here. The Reaver for White Raw is pretty far back. Oh, you can see there's a second Reaver way far out
I
there.
don't know if this is a trade.
Wow, Draco engaged that brilliantly.
This is like burning down your store and be like, well, that was a good trade.
Yeah, he has no insurance for that army.
No, it's pretty dead.
White Raw is doing a counterattack at the bottom of the map, though.
Meanwhile, he's still got a shot.
I cannot believe that.
Yeah, that
Draco
was
won that.
that engage was crazy. I
That's super
thought that was
impressive.
going to be a lot more of an even fight, but no, not at all. I think this game's basically over, boys.
There it is.
Just about.
Can we get a taste of GG?
Depends, man.
If you're feeling
I don't think I can do a Tasteless GG for this one. You got to be careful with how you dish out the
you're right.
Tasteless GGs.
You gotta protect
This
that
is actually
brand.
one of these ones where you think I might do it, and I go, okay, GG, you know, like that.
Let the idea
I keep
percolate a little
the
bit.
nerds
you
a little
don't
bit
overuse
hungry.
it, yeah.
The nerds are at home. They're so excited. Their little toes are curling up into fists. They're going, it's coming, I can't wait.
Oh my
And then I
God.
go GG, and I go, oh, I wanted more. I guess I have to stay on the stream.
I am frustrated.
Yeah, I got to say, I thought these guys were going to be a little bit more evenly matched in the rematch. Once
Yeah.
again, Draco just
Well,
dominates.
it's the battles that Draco's always winning. Like every time they
Yeah.
actually engage, but I think strategically there's not anything wrong with how White Raw's playing. He's
Right.
doing good moves. It's just every time they fight, Draco's like, hey, all your units are dead, mine aren't.
And that's what's fun about Brood War in particular is that you can see that being limelighted a lot.
Yeah.
Draco
Yeah.
and him are like on pretty equal footing, but Draco comes ahead because he's put in 100 games. White Raw has not played that much, so it's good that Draco's coming out ahead there. It would kind of suck if it was one of those games where White Raw's like, well, I've only played 8 games, and Draco's like, I've been training for months, and then, you know, this happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's those little things like the Zealots from White Raw were a little clustered together, so they got stormed pretty hard. The arc of having the Dragoons like very clustered on the bottom side for Draco worked out really nicely to be able to shoot at the Archons, because, I mean, Dragoons are so good against Archons, and your Archons are really good against enemy Zealots, but that's kind of mainly it.
It's kind of funny because you spend so much of the game just trying to amass Dragoons, but a lot of times when you have the big fight and you want to start remaking your armor, you want to make Zealots and Archons because that you can burn all your gas immediately and then spend the rest on Zealots for the next fight. But it seems like we don't really get to see exactly what Draco's doing, but I would be really curious if we could ever go back and like watch from a first-person perspective where he's storming or how he's splitting the zealots, because that was such a dominating fight. And considering their supplies should have been army-wise basically the same.
Well, I like what Sean was saying too, but Dragoons, at least for my because for the last 7, almost 8 years, my brain's been watching StarCraft 2. It's been very conditioned that way.
Yeah.
Stalkers do not stand up in a fight; they melt. But Dragoons are a different beast entirely.
Yeah.
They're ranged,
they're
they're explosive
beefy.
damage, they actually take some damage. So in a lot of those fights, I've been having in my own games at home too. When I stream Zerg, I'm like, throw cracklings at it, and I like look back over there. I'm like, oh, actually,
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah, I mean,
But then there's other fights. It's weird too.
Need
if you can,
defilers.
yes, they're not bad units. You Goomba.
You call him a Goomba?
Yeah.
I like
They
that.
just like turn the stream off right there. I'm like,
oh, man.
Can't be mad
Draco
if you
won.
call
Let's
Goomba.
get Draco over here. Draco,
Here,
come here.
I'll hop out. Draco,
Come here,
on.
Draco.
Mike,
oh, okay.
Come here, Draco.
He might be done though.
Yeah, I think maybe he's retired. He's retired. He's going home.
He's done forever.
He's done. He
Hey,
did it.
This means he actually plays against Rhett in the next round too. Just to throw that out there. The Europeans going at it.
Oh, yes.
Draco.
Oh. Draco. Congratulations on your stunning victory in this tournament that has no dollars on the line.
Pride, man.
Yeah, pride.
Yeah.
But Joy,
You know, it's always good to win. When you are competing, you want to win. So, yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Well, dude, talk to me about this build you're doing in all your PvPs where you open with the 3 Zealot push.
This build is originally made by a friend of mine from Poland, Bonif, and he told me how to play it. He helped me a lot with practice. I had only a week to prepare for this tournament, so I asked some of the best Polish players to help me with practice. So I think this build is pretty good, especially when you play against someone who's out of shape. It's easy to
Seems to really test fundamentals. Like you have to keep building probes and micro your probes
Yeah,
and not
exactly.
drop a beat in your tech.
This is not made to finish your opponent. You push with 3 zealots to get ahead of your opponent, especially in terms of the economy.
And I'm curious about, in terms of these big engagements, like again and again, we just saw that you were really good in these large-scale fights. I mean, are there certain things that you focus on? Do you just feel really comfortable from all the times you've played at PvP? Like, what's your approach to winning these huge engagements so consistently?
PvP is mostly about control, so I don't think that I'm that good with control of my units right now. I think I'm decent. I believe that I'm not sure if Whitera had a limit when the team fight was happening.
Yeah, you were both maxed during the big team fight last time.
Okay. So probably I could be also ahead with upgrades. So what you focus on, you basically have at least a few Templars. So you need to focus mainly on proper storming. Then you have some rivers. So
what are the targets? Like, what are you looking for to storm?
If the best target in PvP for storms are probably zealots. If they are stacked together, it's you can probably snipe all the zealots with 2 good storms. So. Yeah, and basically wherever there is a lot of units stuck together, then you want to storm them or you want to shoot with rivers.
I also see that your Dragoons are always very nicely placed. You never have stacks of Dragoons in the back wandering back and forth, cluelessly not shooting anything.
Yeah, you do that because you want when you attack your opponent, you want every single Dragoon to shoot. The best way to do it is by focusing only one unit. So, yeah, this is how you play PvP.
Well, dude, now you got to go up against Rhett, man. What's that game going to be like?
As we all know, the Red has been practicing a lot lately, so I think this is gonna be a really tough match. The maps are not really in favor of Protoss, so I don't know. I will try my best.
Choose Outsider, man. Choose Outsider 2-gate Zealot Rush every game.
Yeah, maybe we will see. We will see. Maybe I think I have something. I've prepared some builds. Yeah.
What about in the future? Are you planning on playing more remastered or Brood War? Is that something you think you could do, or you're excited about at all?
It's hard to tell right now. I have no plans about that. I have been playing, like I said, only for a week. So once remaster is out, if there are some tournaments, if there are some events, then probably I'm gonna give it a try because I have a lot of practice gained during all those years.
Yeah.
So and you know it's really fun to play StarCraft.
Yeah. What about the just for funsies play? Now that Brood War is back out, and you don't have to unblock port 6112 just to play a game.
Yeah, it's really fun to play Brood War again.
What's your favorite part about playing Brood War? Hit me
You
with
know, this is a game of mistakes. So when you lose a game, or even when you win, you can watch your replay, and it's pretty obvious what you can improve. Like you watch someone who's on the top, and then you compare it to your own game. And this is, I think, really cool about StarCraft, that you can improve like all the time, and there is the skill cap is so huge that you cannot really reach the top of the possible skill. It's always you can always improve.
Hell yeah, Draco. You guys have any questions?
No,
I
love
exhausted all my inquiries.
I have one quick question, but it's for you. Do you think that Outsider is a good map for PvZ?
I don't.
You have yourself in a corner right now, Dean. I'm like, Draco, why don't you choose Outsider against Zerg?
Well, here's my knowledge of Outsider. So Outsider is statistically not good for Protoss. Like Zerg's like Outsider, but I have not played as Zerg on Outsider very much, so I don't have any personal reference point. And I've actually not played that many games on Outsider, but it does create, I think, some of the most interesting and unique games.
Oh,
so
for
that's
sure,
personally why I really like Outsider. And that's one of the things that I really like about Brood War in general is that even though, I mean, especially in Zerg vs. Protoss, you kind of know the box of units that you're working within, but the games can be crazy different depending upon the map. And I just like to see those sorts of differences. Because like Jeff was saying earlier, Zerg sucks on island maps.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to try to figure out how to play Zerg on an island map. It's actually
Oh.
like a really fun. You can wind up with really weird non-Zerg looking Zerg plays that technically work better than other map standard Zerg. So that's why I want you to play on Outsider, because I just want to see a cool match.
Okay, I agree with
see.
that.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
that was good. There it is.
It's the most interesting match to watch. The
course.
map, Outsider.
Well, guys, we're going to be right back. We're going to get this next match started. It is going to be
G5 Legionnaire.
Legionnaire.
We'll be back.
Legionnaire.